feeding lever, feeding lever, feeding lever, feeding lever, feeding pipe, feeding pipe, feeding pipe, feeding pipe, feeding, 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 amorousness, 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 feed through, feed through, feed through, feed through, feel an affinity for, feel an affinity for, feel an affinity for, feel an affinity for, feel as right as rain, 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 feel bad, feel bad, feel bad, feel bad, feel cheap, feel cheap, feel cheap, feel cheap, feel cold, feel cold, feel cold, feel cold, feel dizzy, feel dizzy, feel dizzy, feel dizzy, feel faint, feel faint, feel faint, feel faint, feel for, feel for, feel for, feel for, amorphism, 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 feel giddy, feel giddy, feel giddy, feel giddy, feel hot, feel hot, feel hot, feel hot, feel in one's bones that, 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 feel like a fish out of water, 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 feel like $1 million, feel like $1 million, feel like $1 million, feel like $1 million, feel like a wet rag, 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 feel like diluing, feel like diluing, feel like diluing, feel like diluing, feel like 30 cents, feel like 30 cents, feel like 30 cents, feel like 30 cents, feel like, feel like, feel like, feel like, abomination, 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 amorphous structure, amorphous structure, amorphous structure, amorphous structure, feel one's oat, feel one's oat, feel one's oat, feel one's oat, feel one's oats, feel one's oats, feel one's oats, feel one's oats, feel one's way, feel one's way, feel one's way, feel one's way, feel pains, feel pains, feel pains, feel pains, feel Sabi's pulse, feel Sabi's pulse, feel Sabi's pulse, feel Sabi's pulse, feel small, feel small, feel small, feel small, feel sorry for, feel sorry for, feel sorry for, feel sorry for, feel the pinch, feel the pinch, feel the pinch, feel the pinch, feel under the weather, feel under the weather, feel under the weather, feel under the weather, feel up to south, feel up to south, feel up to south, feel up to south, feel a gauge, feel a gauge, feel a gauge, feel a gauge, feeler, 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 feeling no pain, feeling no pain, feeling no pain, feeling no pain, feet, 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 feignedly, 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 immortize, 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 faint, 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 feldspar, 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 feldspathoid, 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 felicific, 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 felicitate, 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 felicitation, 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 feline, 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 fella, 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 fell-mongered wool, fell-mongered wool, fell-mongered wool, fell-mongered wool, fellow, 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 fellow citizen, fellow citizen, fellow citizen, fellow citizen, fellow countrymen, fellow countrymen, fellow countrymen, fellow countrymen, fellow sufferer, fellow sufferer, fellow sufferer, fellow sufferer, felly, 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 fellow déchet, fellow déchet, fellow déchet, fellow déchet, felon, 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 felonious assault, felonious assault, felonious assault, felonious assault, felonry, 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 felony, 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 felsite, 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 feldspar, 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 felt carpet, felt carpet, felt carpet, felt carpet, amounter, 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 felt cloth, felt cloth, felt cloth, felt cloth, felt filter, felt filter, felt filter, felt filter, felt maker, felt maker, felt maker, felt maker, felt, 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 felt tip hen, felt tip hen, felt tip hen, felt tip hen, felted, 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 felting, 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 female cell, female cell, female cell, female cell, female connector, female connector, female connector, female connector, female gamed, female gamed, female gamed, female gamed, female screw, female screw, female screw, female screw, female thread, female thread, female thread, female thread, fever covert, fever covert, fever covert, fever covert, fever soul, fever soul, fever soul, fever soul, fever, 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 feminine gender, feminine gender, feminine gender, feminine gender, feminine, 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 femininity, 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 immore, 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 feminist, 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 feminize, 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 femme de chambre, femme de chambre, femme de chambre, femme de chambre, femme, 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 femular muscle, femular muscle, femular muscle, femular muscle, femur, 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 fen, 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 amaproprié, 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 fence wire, fence wire, fence wire, fence wire, fencer, 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 fencing, 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 fenfer, 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 fender lamp, fender lamp, fender lamp, fender lamp, amp, 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 fenestra, 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 fenestrate, 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 fenestration, 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 fennic, 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 fennel, 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 fennel flower, fennel flower, fennel flower, fennel flower, fenny, 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 fent, 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 fenugreek, 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 faff, 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 aboriginal, 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 ampelite, 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 theffy, 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 theffer, 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 thefment, 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 bedalance, 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 feral, 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 ferial, 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 farine, 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 ferrety, 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 fermata, 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 amperage, 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 fermentability, 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 fermentability,